What's up, guys? Um, Coming at you today with something a little bit different. Um, One of the things that I think is the most important in not only being a Christian, but just being a human being is being self-aware. I've always considered that to be an extremely important thing, and today, in self-isolation and quarantine, that's even more important, in my opinion, than it was even before. And part of being self aware is being honest with what you're going through, both in your mental state and your spiritual state. Um, Last night I was just kind of thinking a little bit about how I'm doing, trying to do some, isolation, figure out how I'm feeling, what's causing those feelings, how am I doing? And one of the things I'm starting to realize is that my mental state is deteriorating. Not in the sense of just like, full blown chaos and confusion and depression, but just that things are really starting to wear on me. And so the first step in figuring out what to do next is I have a conversation with somebody who holds me accountable. That person for me is my wife, Courtney. And so I waited, and the very next day, um, I stopped and I said, "Hey, Courtney, I wanted to visit with you about something. I just want to get your input." And I let her know, I'm starting to wake up on edge. I'm starting to get fidgety about things, starting to my attention spans reduced, that kind of thing. Nothing that seems like a huge deal, but there are warning signs. They point to the general state of your well-being. And so I had the conversation with her and just kind of talked through some things and recognizing that, as an extrovert, I need social interaction and I'm not getting it. And her being an introvert, she needs alone time. And ironically, in today's quarantine, and what's going on, she's not getting that either because I'm constantly home. But nonetheless, this is about me. But and recognizing that there are some ways in which I can help myself feel better, help myself feel more at normal, help myself feel more at ease. Um, and then taking those steps to help myself, taking those steps to put in the preventative measures. And so, coming at you today, and whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, this isn't about the extroverts crying and complaining, and this isn't about the introverts, getting the world they want or whatever. A lot of these memes and jokes have been going around because ultimately we're all in this fight together. We're all struggling. We all have things going on in our lives, and this is predates quarantine. This predates everything going on. This has been the human condition. And so, one of the things that we need to do and we need to be better at as humans, as Americans, as just fathers, as husbands, as wives, is putting in preventative medicine, quote unquote. Rather than dealing with our lives, rather than dealing with shortcomings, rather than dealing with issues, whether, in the Christian world, rather than dealing with sins that once they blow up and become a big deal, we need to put in the time, we need to put in the energy, and we need to put in the focus to put into to put in the preventative measures. We need to be self-aware and deal with those issues as they arise, rather than waiting until it turns into a mental breakdown, rather than waiting until it turns into depression, whether it turns into, whatever it might turn into in our lives. And for me, like I said, and for most people, it should be talking through it with somebody who holds you accountable. But in having the respect for yourself enough to have those conversations with people ahead of time rather than too late, I think is important. And so, part of the reason I'm coming with you or coming to you guys today, isn't even in the state of just like, my job as a pastor or anything like that. It's just I'm videoing and having this conversation with you is part of my therapy. It's part of the way in which I'm going to deal with it. It's part of the way I'm dealing with it right now. And it will help me feel better. But at the same time, I hope that maybe having this discussion with you guys might help you stay ahead of the curve and stay ahead of the game with your mental state. And so I want to encourage you guys today to have those conversations, have those thoughts, allow your mind to go there. Recognize when an issue comes up and don't try to bottle it up and hide it. Assess. and then assess your mental state, assess your cognitive state, assess your spiritual state, and then assess. From a Christian standpoint, as a pastor, I need to assess how I'm doing in my relationship with God, and then from that assessment, make decisions for my future, make decisions for the betterment of my spiritual state. And you know, um, as a human being, I take the viewpoint in the psychological, assess how I'm doing mentally, and then um, put in measures to change that or to continue that. And so, um, if I'm saying anything today, what I'm saying is don't be ashamed that everything might be getting to you. Don't be ashamed to have that conversation. Reach out to somebody. Um, take the steps. You take the steps to make sure that you'll be better tomorrow than you are today. Preventative help is the best kind of help. And so just want to show you guys and let you know, love you guys. If you need to reach out to me, reach out to me. But find someone that can help you do some assessing. And again, make sure that you're better tomorrow than you were today. Love you guys, praying for you guys, and hope you have a good, blessed week.